I think that all agents should just take advantage of that opportunity because it does not exist anywhere else.
I watched my dad, after 40 years in the business, pretty much pass away broke. Real is actually helping you build a business.
Welcome back, everyone. Leo here, and today we're diving into something that could completely reshape how real estate agents think about growth. Steve and Tamir are unpacking the story behind Real Wallet Capital, how it was born out of a vision for agents to leverage their own success, access smart credit, and build real wealth, from solving the old commission advance headache to opening doors for investment and marketing. This conversation is packed with insights on turning productivity into possibility. Let's get into it.
Hosts, so I don't think you should introduce me, and I don't think I should introduce you. I mean, we're both hosts, so
Good call.
yeah, just excited to be here today with you and talking about Real Capital, which is an exciting product that we just launched, actually.
It's a game changer.
It is a game changer, and I think that you're one of the people that are most enthusiastic about it, so no better person to talk to about this than you. But maybe before talking about Real Capital, we should maybe spend a minute understanding the concept of embedded finance and how Real Wallet and Real Capital were born. So embedded finance is the integration of financial services such as payment, lending, insurance, or investing directly into a non-financial company's platform or product. So think about companies like Uber, for example. Uber wanting to offer their drivers. I'm so used to talking about agents. Offering their drivers instant payments. You know, when you take a ride, typically the driver gets the money a few days or weeks after you actually take the ride. So they have an embedded finance product that allows the drivers to get paid instantaneously. Another example is a company called Toast, and I don't know if you're familiar with them. Toast delivers or develops point of sale products for restaurants. So they control all of the ordering and like the backbone operations of restaurants. And at some point, they started offering restaurants lines of credits because they have visibility into their receivables. So they're comfortable offering the restaurants some money up front until, you know, the credit cards company actually paid the restaurants. So those are types of embedded finance solutions that appeared. And at some point at Real, we realized that we have so much visibility into everything that our agents do, all of the assets that they're building on our platform. We know exactly how many transactions you closed since being with Real. You know how many pending transactions you have. We have visibility into your equity in the company, your revenue share. If you're a part of the Tyler JV, we know exactly how much money you're making there. So why not offer our agents lines of credits based on their business potential and not necessarily about a single transaction that is about to close? So this is how Real Capital was born. And obviously, when we think about products, we start with the agent. Is this going to be beneficial for our agents? And I think that this one is just a no-brainer. And I'd love to hear your take on how did it sound initially, because this is something that has never been tried before in the industry. Nobody offered that. And for me, it was like, okay, will this resonate with agents? Will they accept it or not? So we'd love to hear your take.
So being in the business for, let's call it 60 years. My grandmother was in the business, my parents were in the business, and I've been in the business. And what Real has done with Real Capital is solve the biggest problem for real estate agents, which is becoming bankable. And having a bankable, looking at your stock and all the things that we do inside Real, and basically having a score and a line of credit, which some people might lean into. Yes, it's great because we have a business line of credit that we can use for different things. And I look at it a little different. And it's a way to actually take what Real has provided and never miss an opportunity to invest in something greater, right? So when I look at it, it's all the opportunities that I teach and coach in the investment side where agents don't have the capital for a down payment to buy a property. But with Real Capital, they now have a business setting because of their production, because of their stock, because of their assets that they can borrow against to go further their wealth. So I'm really excited about the product and what we do.
So you touched on using Real Capital for a down payment for a property, for example. But let's face it, a lot of agents do somewhat of an average production. So I would assume that those agents will have a line of credit of a few $1,000s, maybe more than that, maybe less than that. What do you think is the benefit for those agents? Because when we thought about the program, we thought about, you know, agents can use it to expand their business, invest in marketing, things like that. But do you see a different use for agents than, you know, invest in properties or
I think
things of that nature?
as long as they're using it to push their business forward. So I would look at it from investment capital. So now we have this investment bank, which is our brokerage, that's willing to push me forward. And where can I invest into my technology? What can further enhance my business with that technology for a long-term payout that I can go and get from my brokerage in that financial and real capital and really push my business? And I watched it all my life where you do want to push it, but there's something financially holding you back, or maybe it's a big ticket item that you could save money by paying all up front. There's a lot of different opportunities that open it up when the agents start to realize that what real capital is a way for them to get out of the entrepreneurial roller coaster and start to really look at their business and where they can invest in making it better rather than just using it as a fallback plan.
I just lost connection to my AirPods. So, we'll go back to the benefits of using real capital, but maybe touching on the opposite end of the spectrum. And that is, why would an agent not use real capital? Any blockers that you can identify? Any things that, may prevent an agent from using it?
I think the only preventative item that's going to keep somebody from using it is the fear of leverage and not understanding how to safely leverage their business to move it forward.
And that has to do with, being responsible financially and
Money mindset.
But I think that if we're talking about business as a whole, conceptually or philosophically, businesses need leverage in order to grow. It's very difficult to grow without leverage unless you're generating massive cash flow. And if you're generating massive cash flow, it means that you're running a fast moving business or a fast growing business, which also means that you need capital to grow. So I think that it has to do with the individual and the way they think. But if you really want to build a business, you do need to leverage somehow. Go ahead.
I was just thinking, you asked where the real leverage point is for the agent. So let's just take this market. It's different timing for me, but let's take the average agent that I coach right now, and everybody's struggling and they're trying to get from point A to point B. So where this really comes in is taking away from the really expensive commission advances and giving them some breathing room in order to get from one transaction to the next until they build that pipeline. So I think it very much is. And I came from the era of watching my dad do commission advances all the time to keep the business moving until he finally got it to a stage that it was. So it also gives a resource for them to go to it's not a banking institution that really can see what they're doing inside the business, which is awesome.
Yeah, you actually touched on an interesting point, which is commission advances. And I know that a lot of agents do not want to use commission advances. And this product, Real Capital, is nowhere near to a commission advance, because at the end of the day, it's much more like a bank loan. But as you said, banks cannot underwrite agents' businesses because they just cannot understand the agent's business, and they don't have visibility. And it doesn't matter if the agent tells them, "Hey, I have 3 deals under contract." They don't know how to deal with that. So it's not a commission advance. It's actually us looking at the potential of your business, everything that you've done in the past, everything that you are about to do in the future, how we perceive you financially or your business potential, and then underwriting you for a line of credit, which is very different from a commission advance that's tied to one specific transaction and also has a huge interest attached to it. So 2 very different products, and we need to remember that.
I don't think most agents factor in where it comes from. They don't factor in on commission advance where the amount of interest that's paid. When they take something in short term, they don't work it backwards and go, "Oh, I just paid 33%, which is like a payday loan at the end of the day." And I know because I saw it.
Yeah. And a lot of agents, unfortunately, they need to use a commission advance company because of the volatility in cash flow in our business. If you close a transaction, great, you get paid, but you can remain, without any transaction closing for a month, and you still need to somehow bridge the gap of cash flow. And this is exactly what Real Capital can help you do. So again, it's not a commission advance, but it's a great way for agents to either bridge the gap of the volatile cash flow in real estate, or help build their business, or continue and build wealth for themselves and their families through investing in properties and other things, which is pretty awesome.
I think what's really intriguing from my end on it, as I'm coaching agents and showing them from the very beginning, is how much their production matters inside the business right now. Because with Real, if you have agent attraction and you have stock and you're hitting your elite, Real is actually helping you build a business because they're giving you those abilities to move forward with the credit line, right? So if you have that credit line, you keep pushing and keep moving, there's so many benefits to having that productivity, which now creates a line of business that you can utilize to move forward on different things.
Is there any advice that you would give the agents that you're coaching when it comes to real capital or the money that they can get through those lines of credit?
There are so many ways to strategize once somebody has that line of credit, depending on what it looks like. I like to look where they're at. Like, I want them to be stable in their income. So if we can utilize real capital to create some stability, like by either paying some high interest debt off to keep them in a place where they're stable, and then moving their commissions into a place where they're growing that business and being able to utilize it to go to the next level and really get their stability, because commission advance, again, it's one track, right? So when that closing, they still don't have any money. They've already spent it. But with real, they're able to push that out a little bit, which gives them some breathing room to really not be head down and hiding, but let's go to work, right? So that's what I love about the concept of this and bringing it to life.
Yeah, and as you're talking about it, I'm thinking about the marketing angle here, because we just launched the product, and I think that in 6 months or a year, we will have so many interesting stories coming to us from agents about how they utilize real capital. And those are, real life examples of either them growing their business, expanding their businesses, or maybe even solving a personal problem. I think it would be just awesome to hear all those stories. So if you're an agent and you're watching this and you're about to use the real wallet or real capital, please send us any kind of testimonials, any kind of videos on how you use real capital to do anything. We would love to hear. Steve, when you think about real capital as an attraction mechanism to attract agents to the company, how meaningful do you think that is?
I think it's extremely meaningful from anybody that's building a business or has built a business in this industry, because I've been here 4 years. Actually, it's 4 years on Friday I've been here. That's my reset date. And
Congrats.
4 years, every year, the company comes out with something better that is solving a problem that I saw we couldn't solve for 2 decades ago, right? And so as an attraction idea, it's a business model that cuts out banks, and based on your production and what you're doing inside the company, gives you that capital to move forward. So as an attraction, it's really a place to build a business with a credit line, with an expansion, with the technology, and it's a platform that everything is in one place that we can really manage and build our businesses. And it keeps us glued to what's next inside this, which I'm so grateful for it and grateful to be here.
So we talked about the now, what real capital offers today, but let me take you to maybe the future of the real wallet and real capital. If we're talking about teams, and if it's a high volume team that does a lot of production, I think that there's an opportunity to allocate a line of credit or a significant amount under real capital to the team leader, so the team leader can actually reallocate that credit to specific agents on their team. So let's say you're running a big team at real and you get $500,000 in line of credit. You can actually decide that 10,000 you want to allocate to that person, that agent on your team, so that they can grow their business, or if they're having any hardship or whatever it may be, it's in your control. So I think that the future of real capital contains or includes also creating lines of credits for team leaders that they can allocate. Another direction is the consumer. If you had a line of credit from us that you can maybe offer to your clients if they needed some money to do some renovation in their home, or maybe even for closing costs, all those things, I think that just having access to lines of credit opens up so many opportunities for you, for agents, and for us as a company.
You're living in my world, because everything's about opportunities, and most of it can be solved with capital. And it's where I watched my dad, after 40 years in the business, pretty much pass away broke. And it's because of the lack of being able to capture opportunities because of leverage coins. Can I just give you like real capital on steroids real quick?
Sure.
So we're in the position that I'm in right now. I can leverage 50K from real capital, right? I'm borrowing it. Now my stock continues to increase while this money is out and I'm paying interest. But let me fast forward to 2 years what it looks like for me. So if I borrow 50 grand for a house that I'm buying on seller carry right now at 6%, my blended rate between the two is about 7. Lease purchase for 2 years, about $500 a month cash flow with a profit at the end while the stock is increasing in the background. That's where agents can start to leverage opportunity and see where they they can build growth through a company that really believes in keeping more money in our pocket and giving us more opportunity. The cool part of that is it's helping consumers solve more problems with more opportunity that we have to do that.
And as an agent, this is exactly how you build wealth. And I think that all agents should just take advantage of that opportunity because it does not exist anywhere else. So
It does not.
super proud of the team at Real that we managed to build such a product. And we have to wrap up. And I want to thank you for being here. Again, we're co-hosts, so I don't know if you should be thanking me. I should be thanking you, but thank you.
Well, I thank you for being here, Tamir.
Thanks. But I think that so much of your freedom and comfort and big dreams come back to money. And this is exactly where we come in order to help you keep more of what you earn, stay organized, and also build financial strength. And the Real Capital product is exactly about that, because at the end of the day, it's not just about stacking deals, it's about putting more in your pocket and building wealth for yourself and your family so that you can live exactly the lives that you want.
Yes, and you have a company that actually believes in that and is pushing you forward and giving you the tools to build that wealth and all the things that I've never experienced up to this point. And it's insanely amazing, and I'm so excited about where we're going.
So if you're with Real and you haven't started using the Real Wallet or Real Capital, it's on the app, it's at Reason, just apply, it takes seconds, and start using it.
100%.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Tamir. Appreciate you very much for having this conversation.
Appreciate your time.
Looking
Awesome.
forward to the future.
See you soon.
See ya.
That's a wrap for today's chat with Steve and Tamir. Their message is clear. With the right tools and a partner who believes in your potential, you can break free from cash flow roller coasters and start building something lasting. If you're ready to explore what Real Wallet Capital can do for your business, jump into the app and see how it fits your goals. Until next time, keep leveling up, keep investing in yourself, and keep creating opportunities.